Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, and I hope you enjoy this super easy tutorial on how to create a journal using Canva. So first thing I did was set the dimensions, and I used 8.5 by 11 inches and just hit create new design. So this is just on my Canva page here where I create all my thumbnails. So this is here is a blank template of that exact sizing. They do say that is a preferred size for a journal, but of course you can adapt it to whatever suits you. So I'm going to show you here first. This is a journal that I have been working on recently. And let's zoom in here. So I'll just show you guys a quick overview of all the different pages, and then I'll go through how I created each one and what steps to use. So this one here is a tick off page, and you can see this is a checklist, and then I created some blank lines here. And then also on this page, I did little notepad sizings just to put any different notes or whatever you want to use it for. These are just blank templates. Then here I also created more of thicker lines and a border around this. The next page is similar to the other one, which is a border around it, but I also created a division in the middle. So I was thinking you could do, a pro and con list, you could do meal planning, you could do lots of different things with that. Then also here I created just little ones for bullet points up the top, and this part here could be for your notes for the week. Then this one is a daily planner, which I've put important tasks, morning schedules, and afternoon schedules, so you can just play about with it and see whatever suits your designs. This is totally just my preference, so change it up, change the colors, change the font. I'm just going to show you guys how to get the backgrounds. So this is another page here, so that is a gratitude list that I created. I'm just put Monday through to Sunday with different blocks here to write in, and I've left them pretty blank and basic just to fill in, so it can be done whenever you feel like it, and it doesn't necessarily have to be done every day. Next up, I've created some blank pages. So this would be, I've just put thoughts, for example, and the date over here where you would fill it in using your Kindle or whatever online device you're going to use to fill this in. So there is loads of blank pages. You can just duplicate them really easy to however many you want. And I'm currently working on this page at the minute. So this is my visual journal where I've put the best thing that happened today is I smiled today because this made me proud and I am looking forward to. So my idea behind this page was mainly for you to fill in, draw a little picture, draw little symbols, because sometimes I find when I'm journaling you kind of don't want to be writing too much all the time, and a visual journal I just thought would be a nice little touch to add to this journal that I'm creating. So I'm going to take you guys back up to the top, and I will flip over to the blank page and zoom in a little, and we can just get started on creating the little checklist first. So if you go over here to elements, first thing you want to do is go to your lines. So this will bring up lines and shapes. If you don't have this here, you can click on see all and type in lines and it will come up. So for me, these lines were a little bit thick. So the way to make them thinner is to drag it out and then just keep pulling at it just to make it a little bit thinner. There we go. So when you bring it in, that should look a little bit of a more sleeker line. So we're just going to start here. As you can see on Canva, it does give you the border around it, so you can kind of see where the middle of the page is. So there, perfect would be for the middle of the page. So let's change this color up. Let's go with blue. I'll do this nice color of blue. So we'll go with blue, and up here as well you can also change the thickness and you can change the design, whether you want a straight line, a dotted line, etc., just whatever works for you. So then I also wanted to type in a checklist. So let's get check mark up here. So there's so many different types of different checks that you can do. So the one I used on my initial one was this little check mark box. So I'm just going to drag it down into size. That should be okay. We will place that here. That still looks a little bit big, so we drag it down a bit and then make it even with the line. So you see that little dotted line underneath? That then knows that it's symmetrical. So we can keep that blue or we can change up the color. If you don't like any of these standard colors at the side, you can click on this little color wheel and it'll take you to all the different colors and you can create your own, which I think is really good as well. So let's go with a lighter blue color. So we'll do lighter blue. Okay, so once you have that, you want to duplicate these. So if you highlight over it and click on group, that groups them together. Then if you move over to this one here, if you look over to the corner, you will see duplicate. So if you click duplicate, that will bring it down. And like I said, with the borders around it, it's pretty easy to marry up to make them be very even on each level. So once you have the two done, you just want to continue doing that process of grouping these together and then duplicating them. So this will double up and it's easier than doing them one by one. So just kind of play away with this. I will talk to you guys in a sec once I have completed this page. So once you have done your left side of the page, you can keep these grouped and just duplicate everything and just transfer it over to the other side, and then you can make it a little bit smaller. So let's see if we just make this tiny bit smaller just to fit on this page and balance it up where you can see those lines and the borders. Go back here. And that is how you create your checklist. So to get your text box, you would go to text and I would type in, you could maybe do this one, so add a heading here, and then you would make this smaller and bring it up to the top. To edit your fonts, you just highlight this and delete this word and put in checklist. Over here, here's the one I like to use, so it's Amatic SC it's called. So it just creates this little font to the font and it has made it smaller, so you can just use this little tool at the top just to bring it up to the size that you want. Then up the top you also have the bold or italics or underline. If you want it underlined, go to these three dots and then click on the U here and that will underline it. And you can see there. So yeah, just change up any fonts you want and any sort of design or positioning that suits you best. I like to use this as well with the alignment just to check that it is definitely centered and in the middle. So if you want to then create a new page, go to add page. I'm just going to flick back over to the one I had created and go down. So I have put a little picture here. I'll do that on the next page quickly for you just to show you where you would add the picture. So if you wanted to add a picture template, I would just maybe get rid of this one. So I'm just clicking to highlight it and select and delete. It has deleted that. And then over here you want to go back to elements and then you want to type in square. And I just use this first one here. So I'm just going to bring it down smaller to fit into the space. So we put it about here. And then this is very dark. So if you go up to this part here where it says transparency, you can highlight it down a bit just to make it a bit more clear. And let's just change the size in a little bit bigger. Okay, so it's going to look like that so far. So you can bring it in to align it with these lines. Then if you wanted to add on a photo, you could just type in here. So since we're going with blue, let's do seaside. So you're going to have any pictures of waves or whatever you feel like. Let's do this little guy. So we'll pick this starfish. And I'm just going to drag it down, put him here in the corner. And then let's see what else we've got. It's a little tortoise, he could just be floating here. And then you could also put this at the bottom. So a way to make it behind the lines is to right click and then click send backwards. So that puts it behind the lines. And then you can also make it less clear, so I'll do that just so it's a little bit showing, but you can still obviously use your lines to write on. The same with these. Make these any sort of transparency that you feel like. It's an example of a checklist. So let's flick back to see what the next page is. It is just a lined page. So I'll run over this really quickly. We now have a new page here. So go back to your elements and type in lines. Here is just a thick line. And I'm just going to bring this up into the center. And then I'm going to change it to be a thicker line. So let's do roughly here, and I don't want it to be black, so let's go back to the blue color, and then I'm going to duplicate that. So once that is highlighted, over here to the duplicate button, and then I'm going to bring it down to make it even, so there's a clear gap between each of them. Then you want to just grab the both of them, so highlight the both, click on group, and then duplicate, and then you're just going to do the same process all the way down just to get symmetrical lines. So just keep gripping them and keep duplicating. So once that page is done, that is basically your lined page. You can bring them out a bit, you can make them go to the very end. This is just an example for you guys. You can play about with it to see whatever suits your pages best. So we have these blocks here, where it's good to divide and write different notes for days of the week, especially if you're doing a journal. So I'm going to just quickly go over here and show you how I did that. I went into elements and then I went into rectangle, and with your rectangle I had a look at this one. So you're just going to bring it up here and almost like 3/4 width of the page. Let's do that. And then you can go back to your text and write in a little text. Notes. Then just use your font that you're going to use for the majority of your notepad or your journal, whatever you're going to use it for. And let's go back over to elements. So I like to create the little boxes like this. So first I made it be thin at the top. So let's see, I'll make this down a bit. So the best thing to do is always drag it in and then over, and then in and then over, just to make it really thin at the top so it is somewhere for you to write. And then I clicked on that box again and went over and just used that at the top, so it almost works as a border for somewhere for you to write on it. You can use this. Let's just put certain days of the week, so we can put Monday and we'll place that in here. So let's just change the font again to this, bring it smaller and bring it up to here, and let's go with white. And there you can see that is Monday, so you could a little bit smaller, and then let's just group it all together. Make sure you get the word as well, and then duplicate. So that will duplicate exactly what is in that box, and then you can just change out the word or whatever you need. Weekdays. I'm sure you guys get the hint. So that is how you create those little tab boxes. Then going back over here, I then just created more of the lined pages. To get a border on your pages, you could go over here and go to elements, border, click on the square, and that will fill out your page. So once you've done that, these ones here are the same as the ones above, where it was creating the little boxes. So looking back over here, this was just a page that I had created. I just used the little box method with this just to make it white, and then obviously putting in your text boxes and text boxes up here. If you want these elements here, you just go to elements and obviously type in your picture, and you can type in coffee. And that is where I got those little images to use. You can use those here. You can obviously search. There's loads of different ones. You can also do uploads where you can upload your own picture. Then down here with the gratitude list was very similar. I just used the same font and typed in butterfly to find the butterfly, and then created those boxes as well. If you guys want me to go through anything in specific, just let me know. I just wanted to show you a quick overview of what you could get. With these are just lined pages as well. I made the lines super thin and just evenly spaced them, and then duplicated them the whole way up with putting thoughts at the top of the page and date as well, just using the exact same method of getting a text box and the font. So after you've done that, you want to save your journal as a PDF, because if you're using it on the Amazon KDP to upload your journal to sell, you want to save it as a PDF. So you go to here and then download, and in this box here where it says file, you want to save it as PDF print, and it'll tell you how many pages. You can also crop any pages out that you don't need, but let's just go for here and we will save it as a download. So that is quickly downloading at the bottom. So now I'm just going to double click on that, and that should open up the PDF that we're going to use. So there you can see is my PDF, and it has all the different pages. So this now makes it be able to be written on using your Kindle or laptop. Any sort of online digital journal needs to be in a PDF format. So I'll just quickly flick through those pages here just so you can see them again. Gratitude list and daily planner and notes. Like I said, this is a work in progress. I am planning on working on this just to perfect it a bit, add a few more pages, obviously get some more lined pages in and create a front cover. I haven't done that yet, so I just wanted to kind of share this journey with you guys before I put it up for sale on Amazon. So that is exciting. Once you have done this, you're going to go over to Amazon and upload it to their KDP site, which is for access using Kindles. So if you guys want to see that, stay tuned for the next video. And once I have my journal finished, I will show you guys the process of uploading it onto Amazon and creating a digital journal to sell. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video and enjoyed making this journal with me. I'm having so much fun using it, and yeah, I hope you guys are good. Thank you for watching, and I'll see y'all in my next video. Bye guys.